How's it going? I'm Michael and this is Budget Builds. My dad and I bring rusty, crusty old cars back to life. What is happening, Budget Builders, and welcome back to the channel. Well, a friend of mine was left with his car. It was an elderly lady-owned 1972, is it 73? 73 Oldsmobile 98, and it has 66,000 original miles. It's been off the road since about 2006, so roughly 14 years. He gave it to us. It's time to get it drug out of here. Let's see if we can get this thing running and driving. Let's see how many brakes are locked up.
I don't know. It's
nothing to get hold of?
No, because it's spring. It's a coil spring. And that, I don't like that. And this frame can't sing.
Whoop, there she goes. Been there a minute. All right, so we have the land yacht home, and now it is time to start messing with it. All right, first thing, we're gonna jump under this engine bay. Obviously this car's been sitting for many years and the air cleaner's off of it. Not sure if it's in the car. We hadn't been able to get in the trunk yet. Let's go ahead and pull all these spark plugs. I'm gonna check that oil really quick. Let's pull all these spark plugs. Make sure we don't have any rust on those cylinders and go ahead and get some lubrication down in them just so we know that we're gonna be okay there. Nice, oil looks good. It's quite dark. It looks pretty good. Now, obviously, you can tell this car has a lot of rat's nests and stuff on top of it and everything that we're going to have to get vacuumed off. But it's actually really clean. You can see all that original paint underneath the grime and gross dirtness. But original paint on the engine, I mean, it looks bone original all the way down to the water pump, just to give you an idea of the mileage on this car. All right, now we'll go through, we'll pull each plug, we'll verify everything looks okay as far as the plug goes and the cylinder goes, and we'll soak it down with some PB Blaster. Obviously, I could throw a battery in this thing, we could start cranking over on, I could hit it with some ether. You've seen in our videos, I don't like to do that. And I don't want to just go romping on it and take the possibility of blowing the top of a piston off by catching rust. You know, sticking our rings, tearing some rings off. So we're going to take this step by step and make sure everything does okay. All right, and there we have the 4 spark plugs from that side. As you can see, they all look pretty good and all even, except for that one. It looks like, what are we missing there? Yes, we are missing that crush ring. This thing was barely tight. You can see it had blown compression out all over the two of these. You can see they're all sooted up. I wonder if that's why this car was parked. All of these were not tight. You can see the crush rings aren't even crushed down. Now, I'm not sure if you could tell by my expression, holy moly, there was not one, but 2 cylinders on this side without crush rings. They look really good. This cylinder right here, I'd say was a little, probably both of these were a little labored because you were lacking some compression. That's why you have soot all up the sides of these. All this soot is from the spark plugs not being tightened down well and missing crush rings. I will say these things fall off super easy. So when they were sticking them in there, they must have dropped them off, didn't pay attention, and makes you wonder. Makes you wonder. Let's go ahead and throw our ratchet on here. It's an 1.1/8" bolt on the crank. Let's see if this thing turns over. I think we're gonna be okay. Everything so far is looking pretty good, but just a little bit of rust on those rings will hurt us. All right, don't you love this workbench? Look at this. I mean, it's a whole bench on the front of this car. Oh yeah. Those belts are rusted to the pulleys just a little bit, which have us dragging, but as far as the engine feels, nice and smooth. Now, obviously, although the terminals are nice, they are these garbage GM style. Whoever designed this, I don't know what you were thinking. We're gonna cut those off, put normal terminals in here so we can throw a good battery in it. Let's see if we can get some spinny action. Snip and snip. What? That there Hobbenfluber's yelling at us. All right, I disconnected the little power wire on here, and there we are. From what I can tell, it looks like maybe it's a horn relay or AC relay or something, but it is spazzy. Let's go see what we got inside. Cool interior lights. Now, no matter, Bo searched and searched and searched and could not find the key for this thing, so I did pop the ignition switch out. I will give GM that. I could not get this thing to turn over for anything. So, you'll see our new little switch here. The ignition switch is actually mounted on top of the column here, so I just dropped the column, and the push rod for the ignition switch I replaced with this. Let's see what we got. Ooh, we got some lights there. Oh, check this out. So, let me cut this off. I don't want to, let's see how this works. Oh, that's cool. You push the wash and it automatically turns the wipers over. Rear defrog, cruise control. Uh-oh. Let's see if we got some lights. Oh, yeah. Nope. We got one. Oh. Oh. There you go. We'll let this car air out because you know it is musky, musky, musky. Because there's no roof. Don't you just love a pillarless roof? Isn't that cool? Man, they don't make anything like that anymore.
Peter said, if that really happened, Acts chapter 2, then that certifies that Jesus and Jesus alone.
Is this A? Oh, check it out, 8-track. Oh, that's cool. That is cool. Ooh, let's check in the trunk. Trunk release. Is it in here? Oh, yeah. Oop, I heard a pop. Oh, it came on up. There we go. Air cleaner, Oldsmobile Rocket 455. Holy cow. That's at least a 10 body. Good grief. Got some hoses. Ew, Modi. Oh, sound deadening and everything. Wow. Original bumper jack. Ah, it's a shame. It could be a nice car, but wow, it's so rough. So rough. And it's a big 4-door. All right. I want to go ahead and pull that, but I'm going to let Belle do the honors. All right. Well, I got all 3 of them. Come on, slide onto that couch.
Okay, Daddy. Ow.
All right. Look at me, Charlie. The ignition switch on this is this thing. So I need you to pull that out and turn the motor over just a little bit for me. Pull it straight out towards this way. Pull it. Oh yeah. Did you hear the motor turn over? Not on that thing, goofball. Very cool. Thank you guys. Is that a cool car or what? Oh, you ready to go, Belle?
Mm-hmm.
Goofball. Alrighty, way up under here. I mean, I'm a full body length underneath this car. I don't see any metal on the magnet. Alright, so we've got fresh oil and a filter in the car. We went ahead and pre-filled that filter just to be safe. Wow, did that need a change. What a mess. Now, it is time to go ahead and see if we can start figuring out that ignition system, see if we can get some fire on this thing, and then we'll go pick up some new plugs, and it might be time to get some gas to it and see if it'll start. Alright, with all of our oil change done and everything, we went ahead and started checking fire. Obviously, to begin with, we had none. So first off, we went ahead and pulled the cap, looked everything over, cleaned our points, and then we checked that we had good voltage constantly as we turn it over to our coil, which we all did. Points didn't look all that bad. Obviously, originally this car had the external condenser, and then it had the whole uni setup with all of it in one go. After checking everything out, we still didn't have fire, and most of the time, I feel like 95% of the time, it's that condenser. So went ahead, put a new set in, we set our gap, and we had fire. We've gone ahead and stuck new spark plugs in it, set those to the factory 40 thousandths gap. And everything's looking good. We have fire. Let's go ahead, see about a fueling system, see if this thing will crank. All right, so this is either really cool or really not. As you can see, there's your old school gas fill in the center there. I do not smell any gas. And by the sound of it, there's absolutely nothing in there. So I don't know if the lady had planned to have this car put up or what, but the tank is empty. It may have a it may be leaking. We'll go ahead, let's put a little bit of gas in there and see if we can get it to pull up to the motor. All right, so we do have a couple gallons of fresh gas in there. I don't see anything leaking at this point. I've pulled our hose off of our fuel pump. I highly doubt that fuel pump's gonna work, because stuff like this never does. Let's see if we can pull anything up here with a primer bulb. Ooh, fuel up there already. It doesn't smell very good. All right, so we've got this water bottle. Let's see what we got. Most of that's what's in the lines, I think, though. Oh, it don't smell very good. It's not bad, though. I think it'll run on that. Let's pull a little bit more through and see if it cleans up. Oh yeah, not bad. Not good. Oh, it's not bad though. I think it'll run on that. Let's go ahead, disconnect, rehook back up to our fuel pump, unhook up here and verify we have fuel flow up here to the carburetor and that fuel pump's working. If so, we'll see if we can get some fuel in that carburetor and see if this thing will run. I don't think she's gonna do it. Alright, so I've got our handy dandy boat tank here in line. I do have the bottle here still, just in case for some reason that fuel pump does decide to pick up. Get some pressure going here. We're not overflowing, but I don't know that that float is actually doing anything. Let's get our hammer. Let's bump it over and see what it does. Dry as a bone. All right, with a little bit of finagling, we do have the top of this Quadrajet opened up. It's a very surprisingly clean carburetor. It does show a date of 1996 for a rebuild. It's never been opened up since. All the bolts had their, their little special goop on them or whatever. But let's go ahead. I just wanted to get that top open so we could make sure this wasn't full of a bunch of ethanol garbage or anything. You can hear this thing spurting off because of that pressure. Let's see if we can check. Let's go ahead and see if we can check that float valve and see how it looks. Not as clean as I thought it was. Yummy. And there we have it. We're able to save that gasket, and needle valve doesn't appear to be too terribly stuck, but that trash might be blocking us off. Alrighty, got that carburetor all back together. Little bit of a pain in the butt, aren't they always? But now it's time to see if she'll fire up. All right. Fuel pump, fuel pump, fuel pump. There we go. The fuel pump decided to start working. It runs. Oh my goodness. Well, it runs. That just made a huge stinking mess. I was kind of hoping it would do that as far as getting our fuel pump going, but that's why I had that bottle on there. Obviously, I forgot to put it back on with messing with that carburetor. We just made a mess. I want to fire it back off, but I'm going to spray it all down with carb cleaner, let it all evaporate, and then we'll pop it back off and give it some run time. In the meantime, I noticed our radiator, this massive radiator, is about half empty. Let's go ahead and get that coolant topped off. Once everything's evaporated off good, we will run it a little bit more. I did notice our oil light turned off almost immediately, so we should have some pretty good oil pressure. It's exciting. It's cool to hear something fire up back off for sitting as long as it has. Big old 455. Wowee, that is a smooth running machine. Obviously burning a bunch of trash out of the exhaust. Sounds like we have a cracked manifold or a bad donut on that side, but smooth and quiet. It is hilarious how quiet this car is to have a 455 in it. I bet there's 3 mufflers under this thing. It's a single exhaust out the back, just pure luxury. But man, it's running good. That is exciting. That just shows, it kind of just shows the mileage on this car, just how well that thing fired up and ran. Even with as long as it had been sitting, those garbage spark plugs and that trashed up carburetor. How stinking cool. Let's knock a few things out, clean up a little bit, see if this thing will drive. Alright, so it is the next day. It's time to go ahead and run this car some more. Let's let it get up to temperature. Let's verify things like the thermostat are functioning, everything's running cool. We don't have a ton of other kind of issues. Belts are functioning as they should. We'll check our charging system and verify everything's looking well, and then it'll be time to attempt to drive this car. pretty good. See it burning off a lot of that soot there. Smells like a straight up mouse nest. Obviously you can hear, I'm sure you can hear it's actually missing an entire chunk of gasket right at the manifold. So that's why it's so loud right there. If that wasn't like that, this thing would be bone quiet, dead quiet right there at the motor. It runs real smooth though. Everything's looking pretty good. Wait, what the crap? It's shooting right on the manifold. We got a little leak on that radiator. Obviously we're a little low on transmission fluid. You saw it had a little bit of a delay. It was showing fluid change right around close to that 60,000 mile mark on the front fender there. So I think maybe it's just a little low from that, but look at this steering. Look at this. Look at this. We're sitting still and this car's a boat. Oh my goodness. This thing's, it's butter. Power brakes, I don't know if they're working, kinda. Let's get some fluid in this thing, load the kids up in here, and take it for a little buzz right here on the driveway. Ready to go for a ride? All right, let's see how it does. This thing is a boat, but it's got some butt. Oh my goodness. It kicked down and just, let's go for a ride. Did you hear them quads kick in? Oh my goodness. All right. This thing is a boat. Look at, I mean, this is a couch. You're laid back, I'm laid back. Oh my goodness, the brakes feel surprisingly pretty good. It's loading up a little bit. This would be my new, this be our new daily driver. That's our parts getter. 3 miles to a gallon.
Okay, we didn't get no parts yet.
It's dead. Oh, those brakes.
Try this again, huh?
Yep. All right, with some fresh gas in it, let's attempt this again. I get used to this. They throw some donks on this thing. Okay, that was great. All right, so we've gone ahead, we've got the new fuel pump installed. I think the biggest issue there was actually not the pressure, but is the volume that pushes out. Now, we went through, there's a bunch of vacuum lines on this motor and stuff. We went ahead and capped stuff off, replaced what needed to be replaced. And then at the end of the day, I think it runs really well. Obviously, we have that major exhaust leak. That's not a great idea to run it around a ton with it that way, especially coming straight out of the manifold. And that quadrajet isn't super happy. Obviously, we've just opened it up. We haven't put a kit or anything in it. But it's good enough for us to take this car around, have a little bit of fun with it, and here in the near future, we'll show you what's going to be happening to that drivetrain, because we have something really, really cool planned.
I'm not here.
It's not like a new door, is it?
Can you get it?
Yeah.
Here. There you go, now get it.
That
You guys ready to go for a ride?
Yes.
This one just woke up from her nap. All right, scooch, Bubba.
Oh, that's sad.
What do you guys think?
Awesome.
This thing's a boat. Ew, that thing's dirty.
I told you. Yes.
What is that?
It's extra
It
stuff.
was an armrest, but I don't think you want to use
Ooh,
it as an
smell it.
armrest. Musky.
I can still use it.
Sit back, please, Val.
I can still use
Thank
it.
you.
That's nice, huh? Alright, sorry guys.
Hey, Charlie, show people as we drive.
I want to try.
There you go.
We're still right.
Keep going.
Well.
I'm doing it at my feet. Look.
Floorboard
Bottomed
again.
out.
In there.
You're a good cameraman, Charlie.
I needed to shine it at you.
Yeah, shine it at me. Let me suck it now.
Woohoo! Stop it now.
What do you think? You think we can make it, guys?
Yeah.
Oh my, Michael. That's a big trunk.
I don't know what we just ran over.
And you don't know what we're gonna run over.
I've been down. Where'd the trail go? As long as you just keep on moving, we're good.
Daddy!
This is, see that people do donuts right here, and I guess it gets, we don't own anything that does donuts.
Daddy!
Donut, you like donuts, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Now go.
Please come out, my ladies and my Miss Sir, I don't know, whatever you are, little boy.
Mister.
Mister, that's my mister.
Mr. Bear Bear.
Oh,
And again.
come on out, sir. Come on out, sir. Yes, come on out. Come on out, miss. Yes, yes. Come on out, please. My goodness, how many children are in this car? Good grief. Come on out, sir. What in the world? You're just climbing? What? Where are all these people coming from? Come on out. Get out of my car. What in the world? Get out of here. How many more are in here? I know this is a big old car, but come on. What in the world? What is going on here? Come on out, sir. Oh, that's got to be all of them. Oh my goodness, there's more. Come on out. Let's go. Is there any more? Here's another one. Look at this. They're just coming off the top of this. What? Here's more.
It's bad they all look the same.
I know. How many kids do I have?
What was Mia doing?
Oh wait, I have only got 2 of these. I've got 14 of the other ones. All right, high five, guys. Did you have fun? High five. High five, Belle. Crazy.
Harder.
Harder? Ah! High five, Bubba. Good job. Good job, guys.
Ouch.
All right, well, that is going to wrap it up for this episode. I know it's a big, ugly car. It's really cool. Sadly, this one is, as far as especially the roof goes, it's so rusty and so bad that it's not necessarily going to be practical to consider, especially with all we have going on, to consider saving this car. So it may possibly go to save quite a few other different Oldsmobiles and possibly some other cars that are coming up as far as drivetrain wise goes and all. But we were more than happy to take the opportunity to go rescue this neglected car that had been sitting for 16 plus years, 15 plus years, and get it going and have a little fun with it. It runs exceptionally well. Obviously, once we get on those quads, the carburetor's a little unhappy, but we putted around with it right here up and down the drive right here. The kids really enjoyed it, and that's what it's all about. Getting out there, rescuing this kind of stuff, having fun with your family and your friends, and just really having a good time. As always, thank you all so much for the positive love and support that we've had on this channel. If you guys haven't already, if you're enjoying what we're doing, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, notification bell. Keep up with all the fun stuff that we're doing and have going on. I hope you all have a great weekend. Peace out, and catch y'all on the flip side.